These are 20 of the most violent tackles in football history, and as this video progresses, the tackles get more and more dangerous. Coming in at number 20, we've got a very recent incident because Gianluigi Donnarumma almost got his head torn apart. It happened in late 2024. A League One clash between Monaco and PSG, Wilfried Singo absolutely destroyed Donnarumma's face. The 6'5" goalkeeper dropped instantly, clutching his head as teammates rushed to him in shock. Replays showed the moment in horrifying detail, metal studs crashing into skin, leaving Donnarumma bloodied and shaken. Even though Singo didn't mean to cause harm, this was the kind of reckless challenge that reminds everyone just how dangerous football can be. And that was only number 20. The fouls ahead, they only get worse. But the next one, it's seriously hard to watch. Back in 2010, Aaron Ramsey was Arsenal's golden boy, but his rise hit a wall during a brutal Premier League match against Stoke City. Ramsey and Ryan Shawcross both went for a 50-50 challenge, but Shawcross got it horribly wrong and basically snapped Ramsey's leg like a twig. The guy's tibia and fibula were shattered, instant nightmare. Shawcross left the pitch bawling after getting a straight red, and Ramsey, he spent 3 years getting back to full fitness. And if you think that was bad, get this. Nigel de Jong in the 2010 World Cup final decided to try out for Mortal Kombat instead of playing football. He straight up karate kicked Spain's Xabi Alonso in the chest. The impact was brutal. Studs planted right in the middle of Alonso's ribcage, and somehow, the referee only showed a yellow card. A yellow. Even the ref later admitted he completely messed up, because in any other match, that's a straight red and an early shower. But that night, de Jong stayed on the pitch, like nothing happened. A World Cup final foul that looked more like a scene from an action movie than a football match. Felipe Melo comes in at number 16 because honestly, this dude just forgot how to act on the pitch. It was Inter Milan against Lazio, tension high and Inter desperately chasing a late equalizer. But instead of helping his team, Melo completely lost it. As the ball dropped near Lucas Biglia, Melo launched himself into the air and, out of nowhere, delivered a flying kick straight to Biglia's face. Just a straight-up kung fu move right in the middle of a Serie A match. The referee didn't hesitate, straight red card, and honestly, no one could blame him. It looked more like a UFC takedown than a football foul. Now, this foul was bad, but it wasn't like that bad. Our top 3, though, absolutely savage. And then, we have one of football's most personal acts of revenge. Back in 1997, Manchester United's Roy Keane went down injured after a clash with Leeds' Alf-Inge Haaland. As Keane lay on the ground, Haaland accused him of faking it, a moment Keane would never forget. Fast forward to 2001. It was the Manchester derby, but this time, Keane had a score to settle. As Haaland tried to clear the ball, Keane came flying in with a vicious studs-up challenge, straight into Haaland's right knee. The referee had no choice. Instant red card. But the real shock came later, when Keane openly admitted in his autobiography that he'd done it on purpose. Haaland's career was never the same after that, a grudge that lasted years and ended with one of the most brutal revenge tackles football's ever seen. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic, though, he's the king of revenge. Back in 2006, Zlatan and Marco Materazzi had a nasty clash on the pitch, and Zlatan didn't forget. He waited 4 long years to get even. Fast forward to 2010, AC Milan versus Inter Milan. The moment Materazzi came near the ball, Zlatan pounced. He launched in with a brutal, perfectly timed tackle that sent Materazzi straight to the hospital. And here's the craziest part. Zlatan later admitted it was payback. He said he'd been planning that tackle ever since 2006. But in the end, the last laugh still belonged to Inter Milan, because that same season, they went on to win the treble. But speaking of brutal hits, remember what happened to Neymar in the 2014 World Cup? It was the 2014 World Cup quarterfinal, Brazil versus Colombia. The entire nation was behind Neymar, their golden boy, their hope for glory on home soil. But then came Juan Camilo Zúñiga. In the 88th minute, Zúñiga came flying in, knee first, straight into Neymar's lower back. The impact was brutal. Neymar collapsed instantly, screaming in pain. Moments later, the news broke, a fractured vertebra. His World Cup was over. Brazil went on to face Germany in the semi-finals without him. And we all know how that ended. A 7-1 nightmare that stunned the entire world. But credit to Neymar, he came back stronger than ever, because even a broken back couldn't keep him down. And then there's Thomas Müller, who in 2018 nearly decapitated Ajax's Nicolas Tagliafico with a high kick during a Champions League game. Müller went up to challenge for a high ball, but instead of connecting with the ball, he connected with Nicolas Tagliafico's head. His boot slammed straight into Tagliafico's skull, a full-force karate-style kick that left the Ajax defender bleeding and needing stitches. The ref didn't even hesitate. Straight red card. Müller immediately apologized, but the damage was done. Tagliafico had a nasty gash to show for it, and Müller was hit with a 2-match ban. And yo, I'm all about not kicking others when you're angry, but it's totally cool to rage kick that subscribe button. Hit it hard. Just like in 1990, where Cameroon pulled off a mad upset, beating Argentina 1-0 in the World Cup opener. But forget the scoreline. Everyone remembers the moment when Benjamin Massing decided he'd had enough of Claudio Canigia's nonsense. Bro went in with a tackle so wild, Canigia's shoe flew off like it was trying to escape the drama. Massing got yeeted off the pitch with a red card, and that foul is still up there as one of the most brutal in World Cup history. I mean, did he even care where the ball was? Not even close. Now this one's wild. Cristiano Ronaldo in 2022. Portugal was up against the Czech Republic, and Ronaldo went up for a header, but instead of the ball, he caught the goalkeeper's fist square in the face. Blood immediately started pouring from his nose, a gruesome sight even by Ronaldo's standards of toughness. The hit fractured his nose in 2 places, and the ref? He gave the free kick to the goalkeeper. What? Even the GOATs get injured, right? Back in the 2017 Champions League quarter-finals, Lionel Messi was soaring for a header when Juventus's Miralem Pjanic decided to give him a shove. Like, come on, dude, it's basic football etiquette. Don't mess with a guy in mid-air. That foul was so reckless. Messi fell to the floor face first and smashed his head into the ground. Barcelona were not happy, and Neymar was booked for an instantaneous bad tackle in revenge. The images of Messi's fall were ugly, and he ended up with a cut under his eye. And guess what's wild? Barcelona actually signed Pjanic later on. From nearly taking out Messi to being on his team, football is seriously wild. Just like Axel Witsel's when he was making waves with Standard Liège, but his foul against Anderlecht was so savage that people called for his ban from football. Back in 2009, Witsel was one of Belgium's brightest young talents, making waves with Standard Liège. But in a heated clash against Anderlecht, he went in for a challenge that changed everything. His studs came crashing into Marcin Wasilewski's leg, and the result was horrific, a clean snap. Wasilewski's leg was left broken, his season instantly over. The stadium went silent. Even Witsel looked in shock at what he'd done. He claimed it wasn't intentional, just a bad challenge gone wrong. But fans across Belgium were furious, demanding he be banned from football altogether. In the end, Witsel got an 8-match suspension, but the image of that tackle still haunts anyone who's seen it. And now, the infamous Butcher of Bilbao. It was the 1980s. Athletic Bilbao versus Barcelona. Diego Maradona, one of the game's brightest stars, had no idea what was coming. Andoni Goicoechea went full beast mode on Maradona's ankles. A tackle so vicious, so calculated, that Maradona was sidelined for months. The league didn't hold back. Goicoechea received an 18-match suspension, one of the longest in Spanish football history. He earned his nickname for a reason. The Butcher of Bilbao left a trail of broken legs and terrified defenders in his wake. But this guy survived with only a yellow card. See, in 2006, Manchester City versus Portsmouth had a shocking moment. Pedro Mendes went in for a challenge, and out of nowhere, Ben Thatcher elbowed him in the face. Unconscious instantly, Mendes hit the ground motionless as the crowd gasped. And the ref, just a yellow card. A yellow? The outrage didn't stop there. Thatcher later received an 8-match ban and a hefty wage dock, but by then the damage was done. A reckless, violent act that could have ended Mendes's career, and survived on a single yellow. Football sometimes really tests your faith in the rules. And a bigger joke is refereeing at the Premier League. Back when John Terry was like a brick wall, you know how they say play hard or go home? Well, John Terry took that way too seriously. In the final moments of a League Cup clash between Chelsea and Arsenal, Terry tried to be the hero. He went up for a header, and next thing you know, he's out cold, swallowed his tongue and everything. Like, seriously, Terry, That's one way to get a header wrong. At least Drogba saved the day with a winner, so Chelsea still got the trophy. And speaking of insane tackles, hold on to your seats because we're jetting off to Spain for some more crazy action. In the 2011 Spanish Super Cup, Real Madrid and Barcelona were going at it like it was a street fight. Barcelona was leading 3-2, and Marcelo decided he'd had enough. He charged at Fabregas with a tackle that was pure rage mode. Bam! Straight red card. What followed was pure chaos. Mourinho pinching Piqué's ear and players shoving each other around like it was a WWE match. The whole thing turned into a wild mess and everyone had to watch from the sidelines. But as far as graphic injuries go, this one's got to be the gold medal winner. Back in 1981, Siegmann kicked Lehnen so hard that the dude ended up with a 10-inch wound on his thigh. And the craziest part? Lehnen got up like, no biggie, and Siegmann only got a yellow card. Lehnen needed 23 stitches and was back in training just 17 days later. Lehnen wasn't just lying down though, he took Siegmann and Bremen's coach to court, accusing them of telling their players to go full Mortal Kombat on him. The lawsuit flopped, but it messed everyone up so much that the coach had to wear a bulletproof vest in the second leg. Yep, things got that wild. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to what Son Heung-min did. During a game between Spurs and Everton, Son made a tackle so brutal that it left André Gomes with his foot pointing the wrong way. A full-on nightmare injury that had fans and players alike gasping. Son was visibly shaken, so much so that in the next game, even after scoring twice, he didn't celebrate. He immediately apologized, showing respect and concern for Gomes. A tackle brutal enough to make headlines worldwide, but also a reminder that class and sportsmanship can still shine, even in the darkest moments on the pitch. But if we are speaking of wild, Martin Taylor went full villain mode on Eduardo in 2008. Arsenal versus Birmingham City, and Taylor pulls off a tackle that looked like something out of a horror movie. Dude broke Eduardo's leg in 2 places, shin and fibula. It was so bad, even the TV people were like, nope, no replays on this one. Taylor got a 3-game ban, but Eduardo, man, he was never the same after that. Which foul blew your mind? Drop your thoughts and craziest football moments in the comments, and hey, if you loved the madness, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our next epic countdown.